Hey, episode five. Just want to go back and talk about the using a swab for sample collection simply because it's universal. You can collect from any population segment. Um, if you did a genetic test, most probably you collected a couple of swabs. And just to explain why they ask you for two swabs, or sometimes if you're doing a bone marrow transplantation, the bone marrow registry, they will ask for four swabs. The idea is basically if one swab doesn't give enough sample for them, they will go for the second swab. So it's literally two preps for the lab. Um, but really, at the end of the day, all the issues with swabs, from bacterial DNA contamination, from overgrowth of fungi, over dryness, really you won't get enough of the sample, especially if you're doing whole genome sequencing or methylation studies. So what we did, as quite a few of you knows the iSWAB technology, um, concentrating the two swabs and one swab in one tube. We wanted to add an internal control for the collector. So basically, the lab does not ask you for more samples. So in this collection, you see what we have, the word swab printed on the back of the label.
This way.
So we're gonna try to zoom in to show you the word swab, how it's printed. So this is two swabs, sample collection, and this is four swabs. All the four swabs from the same individual go into the same sample, like the two swabs. After collection, you should not be able to read the word swab. And this is where the innovation shows. So it's very milky, you will not be able to read it. That's an internal control. That's basically telling you that you collected a lot of the sample of buccal cells, and it should have and will have quite a bit of DNA, high quality DNA. This is again, this is the two swabs. As you can see, you cannot read the word swab. Okay. Something cool about this after collection, one of the things we write ourselves, if you do a mistake and you tip it, your sample is not gonna spill. This is part of what we did because your sample is very precious, and we want to make sure that you do not have to resample again. And again, this is part of making sure that when you submit a sample to the lab, it is processed and meets the criteria of that lab, and they will have enough DNA out of it. Of course, high quality DNA that can be used for various arrays of molecular applications. This is end of episode 5, and I'm looking forward to give you episode 6.